The question is that the bill be now read a second time. Mr. Melvin Yong.
Mr. Speaker, I stand in support of the bill, which seeks to increase support provided to parents in managing both work and child-caring commitments, encourage greater shared parental responsibility, and to improve operational clarity for the disbursement of childcare-related benefits. However, I have some suggestions which I hope that the government could consider. Let me start by commending the government's efforts in supporting Singaporeans who wish to start a family. In addition to the doubling of government-paid paternity leave and unpaid infant care leave, the government has also increased the baby bonus cash gift by $3,000 and enhanced co-matching contributions to the child development account. Various government agencies also prioritize families with children in areas such as housing and provide generous subsidies for childcare and education. However, we must acknowledge that despite the government's best efforts, our total fertility rate continues to fall, reaching a record low of 1.05 in 2022. This signals that beyond the actual cost of raising a child, there are more deep-rooted issues that put off Singaporeans from starting a family. During my house visits, I've met families with 4, 5, and sometimes 6 children. They do not live in a big flat, and everyone has to share their bedroom. But they tell me that they are happy that they get to share their joys and the simple pleasures in life with one another. But I've also met couples with one child who tell me that it is too expensive to raise a child in Singapore and that they are unable to afford to have a second. The difference in attitudes reflect a difference towards what each value in life. I believe that this is shaped in many ways by their home environment and, crucially, their work environment. Sir, several research papers have in recent years examined the interplay between work life and family life. The work-life balance, or in some cases, the lack of work-life balance, will affect decisions on how working people choose to allocate their time and energy when it comes to work and family roles. A 2022 study that examined stress in balancing between work and family among working parents in Hong Kong found that those who have children reported higher levels of work-life stress, possibly due to the additional load of balancing caregiving duties with work. I believe many Singaporeans will relate deeply to this. I would therefore like to suggest for MSF to work with the MOM to conduct a local study to examine companies that offer employees with the best work-life balance. The agencies can study if there is a correlation between quality of work-life balance and the number of staff in the company that choose to start a family. The outcome of the study can inform agencies with insights into certain work practices that need to be adopted, or perhaps even legislated, to provide Singaporeans with a more conducive work environment to start a family. One such work practice would be flexible work arrangements, including work-from-home arrangements, where possible, if the work can be done remotely. COVID-19 has shown all of us that flexible work arrangements can work, and the labour movement strongly believes that this should be an option when the job scope allows for it. There should also be clearer norms on after-hours work communications so that we can give families protected time, and for young couples to spend more time together and to start a family. It has been close to 3 years since we launched the Tripartite Advisory on Mental Well-being at Workplaces, guiding employers on establishing a work-life harmony policy to offer clarity on after-hours work communication. 3 years on, can the government consider elevating this advisory into a tripartite standard? Flexible work arrangements are currently encouraged as part of a tripartite standard. We can certainly do more to encourage more companies to adopt flexible work arrangements for their staff. I therefore urge MSF to consider expanding Part 3 of the Child Development Co-Savings Act to allow for employers to claim benefits if they provide good flexible work arrangements to staff with children. Sir, I often hear from our brothers and sisters working in the public service that the public service leads by example when it comes to offering flexible work arrangements. Some heads of department provide them with the flexibility to come into the office only when absolutely necessary, such as when there are in-person meetings and discussions. They also tell me that their senior management make a conscious effort in informing them that emails sent after office hours need not be replied until the next working day, unless the email is marked as urgent. These measures have allowed them to strike a better work-life balance with more time to focus on the family. I urge other employers to mimic the public service in providing progressive, flexible work arrangements and in setting clear after-hours work communication expectations to all their staff. Lastly, I would like to ask MSF to consider providing adoptive and foster parents with a greater differentiation in benefits under the Act. Adoptive and foster parents often have to deal with a myriad of problems that are more complicated than a traditional family setting. We should therefore provide them with more support, such as more government-paid paternity leave and unpaid infant care leave. Mr. Speaker, it takes a whole-of-nation effort to raise the next generation of Singaporeans. While we acknowledge that the government has done much in supporting Singaporeans who wish to start a family, we can do more to help shift some of the structural issues that discourage Singaporeans from having children. We should also provide greater support to adoptive and foster parents. Sir, I support the bill.